So the thing is, you keep not understanding is when you read the Bible, you can misunderstand it if you don't apply it. Why do you think Paul said all Scripture is given for doctrine, right? Not just the ones you like or favorite, right? You keep forgetting that. There's a whole story being told and retold in the Bible, including what happened in Eden. The prophets keep trying to tell you something more happened than meets the eye. Not only that, as the butterfly metamorphs, so could Jesus, right? But not us, but not us. We're either born male or female. Right. So as the butterfly, which once was the caterpillar, could metamorph, so can Jesus. He metamorphosized into two other people, which you can't do. You still don't know who the two were, do you? Either you think it was Moses and Elijah? No. I show you a new thing, a thing Peter didn't consider. That it was Iysh and Yolda, and the Lord was both. Who again is androgynous, not male or female. Not male or female. He's neither male nor female, right? Well, that means he has the breast of a woman, but the penis of a man, right? But also the lady parts of a woman. down there, too, right? He's kind of a dual being, right? Two in one, a dyad. But you can't handle the truth, nor can the Emperor Constantine, I guess, or the Roman men, right? Who tried to change it all and deny the Gnostic Gospels. But we forgive them. You see, we're not here to condemn them. They didn't understand because the technology wasn't there yet to really understand it all either. But guess what has happened now, Roman men? Knowledge has increased, and now even you can find out that hermaphrodites are a real thing. Which you didn't know then. We understand that. You didn't have Myrnus, which is the equivalent of hermaphroditus, in your pantheon of gods. We understand. Do you? No. Which is Mercury and Venus, by the way. Aphrodite and Hermes, our son, was Hermaphroditus, right? And a nymph fell in love with him and joined bodily with him, and as they were making love, it became one body with him. So strong was her desire to be with him and near him, right? I guess. Sound familiar? How was Eve taken out of Adam? By bone and flesh, right? The bone you figured out might be a rib, but why would Adam need an extra rib and have 13 ribs if we now have 12? Ever think of that? Right? If you take the story somewhat literally, right, and somewhat metaphorically too, right, even if you want to simply make Adam X, Y, and Eve X, X, by the way, you get that either way. And you still see the androgyny of the male with the female and the female with the male, because the sperm comes from the mom or the dad, right? The dad, right? And the egg comes from who? The mom. For the son and the daughter. For the son and the daughter. Both are male and female. Someone's been lying to us by trying to make God Father only. Crazy Christians. You got it wrong too. I know. Blaming Rome, and then the Jews, and then, right. Who is all you could blame is the Roman or Italian men, right? Or the Jewish or Israelites, right? Or Hebrew people, right? And then you're just blaming them because you won't read their book either, right? By the way, you're not supposed to blame each other if neither one of you wants to deal with the truth, right? Uh-oh. And even if someone does the truth like me and Jesus, we're not here to condemn you. But that the world through us might be saved. Uh-oh. We're trying to help God save you, but sometimes stubborn is as stubborn does. Sometimes denial is the easiest thing if you've been denying something for 6,000 years. That occurred in the little garden one day when supposedly a serpent spoke to a human being with vocal cords, or as if it had vocal cords, right? And her name was Eve, it spoke to, right? But who told them? One of us. Didn't God say, one of us? The man has become as who? One of us. One of them. No. And he speaks to them at Babel to go down and confound their language, didn't he? Let us go down and confound their language. Didn't he say that too? Right. So us is them. And they are from a different estate, or dwelling, right? Or habitat, right? Or earth, even, right? But again, you're brainwashed by who, right? The enemy of humankind, right? Who would have to look like a human on the outside, right? In order for Eve to find him attractive, right? As if a fruit to be desired to make one last, right? Just as Solomon's wife, or concubine, whichever she was, or queen, right? In Song of Solomon, saw him as an apple tree and wanted his fruit in her mouth. Well, we know there's only one fruit of the male, that's the penis, right? But no, that's not what God meant when he said don't eat of the fruit of the body of Satan. And there's no other metaphors for men being compared to trees either in the Old Testament. Or the New, huh? So John didn't say, and Jesus, every tree that brings forth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire, huh? Both John and Jesus said that, Christians. So who has beguiled you from the truth? Satan again. And you let him beguile you, lukewarm Christians. What you've become according to your own doctrine. You become lukewarm. You become complacent. You no longer want to teach the whole truth of Jesus. And it started with Emperor Constantine, right? And the Catholic Church, right? And even when other men got involved, they too tried to play God over the truth, right? But only the truth could make you free, right? And didn't Isaiah said, right? You shall eat the fruit of your doings, right? In chapter 3, verse 10, right? If you also do good, including forgiveness and mercy, right, then you're being totally good again, right? But if you do evil, which is condemning and doing right and wrong things, right, you're doing evil or good and evil, right, at the same time, right? Do you think love is something that wants you to do good only to each other, or each other good and evil, right? And who's doing this good and evil to you? Other men, other women. Did Samson and Delilah not have a relationship, but under duress? No. To where she betrayed him because of her own people? But did not also Hosea marry a harlot? Right. But again, right, we're still not the judge either. No. Is Paul saying all these things are judgments to get you to quit judging? Right. Everything of that? Right. When you judge after the flesh while you're in the flesh, You of the flesh condemn another man. Right. But when you of the Spirit forgive, as God forgives you, right, you have gone on to perfection. Right. And as God no longer judges man, right, you no longer judge mankind either, though you know your gender or your identity is either male or female. Mm-hmm. Though occasionally a hermaphrodite is born too, by the way. Mm-hmm. Now, if Isaiah says the Shad Meleki, right, what does that mean, Jewish people? Mm-hmm. One, the Shad is and female breast. Kings. What? Do kings have female breasts? If they're true hermaphrodites, they do. They do. Or androgynous human beings, right? Another word for them, by the way, which is from the Greek, too. Andro is man, and Guinea, or Gi, is female. Nus, Ginus. Instead of Guinea, it's Ginus. Oh, no. No. I didn't know that, sir. But I didn't. Right? That's another thing. You don't know this, but that's no excuse not to know it. Especially if knowledge has increased and you're not wanting to understand the Lord anymore, right? And you're making the lives of men who have been deceived by the devil more truthful than the words of God. Therefore, you're in confusion because Satan goes about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. But Jesus also is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Exactly right. Hope you like jamming too. Watching the Bob Marley marathon today on MTV Live. Right. They're doing his behind the music. Right. And that's info. And of course, the movie comes out on the 14th, right? Go see it. That's also promotion, right? I think it'll be a good movie. That's critiquing it. Why don't you go see it? That's a question about it. Seems like a good movie. You might learn something from it. You might not, if you don't want to, by the way. Only if you don't want to learn something can you not learn something. Oops.